So earlier session we discussed about different types of operators and dived into each and every operator in a high level point of view. So in this video, I will explain you about conditional statements. So what are conditional statements? So in Python or any language, you will write some set of statements. Let's say you wrote some 10 lines of code. Every time they are executed in the same order. Let's say some 10 lines of code. First line will be executed first, after that second line, after that third, fourth. So one after other. That is called as sequential statements. Sequential order. Let's say instead of that, we want to frame a condition, and based on that, some set of statements should be executed. And if that condition is false, some other set of statements should be executed. Like that. If you want to frame your logic like that, we can take the help of conditional statements. In a simple view, it looks like this. So one by one statements, one after other. And the fifth, after this, when this conditional statement comes, it will check for the condition mentioned in this conditional statement. If it is true, it will take this path. If it is false, it will take this path. After that, they can again come in and merge to a single path anyway if they want. So those can be framed with so these conditional statements are mostly framed with if else, and if else if like that. So the simplest form, it will look like this. So if and that particular condition statement, if that condition is true, these set of statements will be executed. And if it is false, these set of statements will be executed. Pass is a keyword used in Python. If you are not keeping any statements, just a dummy statement instead of keeping it is empty, so that we won't get indentation error. Pass represent just go to the next line. So basically we have three different kinds of conditional statements. One is if, next is if else. The above is an example of if else. There is an if statement, there is else part. In if part, there is no else part. Only it will check for the condition. If it works, it will execute. If not, it will come outside and do the normal execution. Next is if, elif, and else. So here one condition will be checked. If it is false, it will check one more condition. If it is false, then it will go to this else part. We'll study each of them one by one now. It's recording. So the structure of if will be like this. If condition. So if and that particular condition, if it is true, it will execute this part. That's it. And here the indentation plays an essential role. So to mention that this particular code block is inside this if condition, we are keeping some space here. If you don't keep this space, it will be taken as parallel code for if. It's like outside the code, outside the if block. If you want to keep this block inside the condition, just you need to keep some space as indentation here. The flow is, if this condition is true, then it will get executed. So I will show two different types of if blocks here now. So here, if you see, if this condition is true, if this condition is true, this one will get printed. So, and outside there is another if block, which is independent to this one. So once this part of execution is done, if it is not true, it will come, keep the cursor here, not here. And this part will be, this print will be skipped. And again, it will check the condition. If number is greater than 5, then this part will be executed. This condition can be inside the braces or can be written without spaces, braces also. Everything is fine. And you can combine multiple statements by keeping logical and or. Like this, if number equal to 2, and number greater than or equal to 6. So if number is or I will keep here. So it will true if either number is 5 or if it is greater than 6. And let me change this to less than or less than 5, like this. It will be a different condition. Or you can comment multiple conditions. If number is less than 5 and I want it should be even also, then number percentage 2 equal to 0. So this represents if the number is divided by 2, the remainder should be 0, which will work only for even numbers. So the number should be less than 5 and it should be an even number. So when you are keeping multiple conditions like this, it's best way to surround them with the braces for clarity. So this complete condition will be executed. And if you want more clarity, you can keep multiple braces like this, one after the other. So, understood? So there is nested if. Here, nested if is inside if, we can keep one more like this. This is inside this if. Understood? Once you enter this if statement, then only you are entering this if statement. That's it. So this part, if this part is not executed, if it is false, it won't enter this block. But I want to create one more block which should work only if it is false. That one I can frame with the else. So I can keep similar set of statements like this here. So if it is true, it will enter this. If it is false, it will enter this. If I don't keep else part, this code will get executed independent of this if. It means even if it is true or false, this will execute. If you want to execute this only if it is false, then you can keep else in front of it. So the code logic will be, instead of this one, the if else block will be like this. Understood? So instead of like this, you can write a conditional expressions also, where you can just return some value based on the condition. Let's say number is equal to 60, like this. I want to create one more variable output, and return as true. And this one will be written as true. This one will be assigned to this output only if this condition, if number is less than or equal to 50. Understood? You can frame an else also here. Else something like this. So this output will be assigned with this value if the number is less than 50, else this value. As the number is 60, this output variable will be assigned with this value. This is one kind of if statements to link with assignment statement. These are called as conditional expressions, because this complete expression or operand used in the assignment statement is filled with if condition. So this is called as conditional statements. So if else, you are keeping a single condition. If that condition is true, it will go to this if block. If condition is false, it will go to this part. Let's say you want to keep one more condition, so that in the middle you can keep like this. If the first condition is true, it will execute. If the first condition is false, it will check one more condition. And if it is false, then only it will go to the third part. So that one can be done with elif. Understood? So it will check condition 1 first. If it is true, it will execute. If it is false, then it will check condition 2. If it is true, if condition true is true, this will execute. If condition 2 also false, then it will go to else. So like this, you can write multiple number of elif statements in the middle. Understood? The example of multiple elif statements is this one. If number is 0, it will print the first condition. If it is false, the second condition, third condition, fourth condition, like that, so on. So this is not same as multiple if statements, because multiple if statements, they are independent. Here this elif is linked to this if statement. It will come to this section only if this is false. So a small challenge what we can do is we can or in a shopping cart, if the user is trying to check the discount of a particular product, based on the product price, the discount will be appeared. Understood? So when you search for a product, when the input is entered a value, these conditions will be checked. The first condition is this one: if greater than or equal to 300, then the discount will be 30%. You can keep it in the assignment statement. If it is false, then it will be some like that, multiple if statements. And this is the last else statement you can consider it as. Example is this one, data code. Input. If price is greater than or equal to 0, the price is assigned with the new discounted price into 30% means 0.3. So 1 minus 0.3 will be 70%. 0.7. 0.7 will be the price. This is equivalent to 300. Is it price equal to price into 300? 0.7. So it will be 300 into 0.7. Then the price will be not 250 into 0.7. 250 into 0.7, like that. The discounted value. So if you have any doubts, you can just comment on. As this is a simple example, I am not delving in detail about this explanation. So that's it for this video. Bye.